Hey guys, it's Optimus Prime. I am back in another video, and today I have got some news to catch you guys up on when it comes down to G1 reissues, some Generation Selects toys. We've got some additional images as far as some of the War for Cybertron toys, and we have some news as it comes down to the aligned continuity. I've got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchasing a t-shirt on my Teespring store today. Okay, so the first bit of Transformers news that I do want to talk to you guys about has to do with the aligned continuity. Now, if you're not familiar with the aligned continuity, it encompasses the Covenant of Primus, which is a prequel book that kind of explains like the origins of the aligned continuity's universe. The War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron video games fall into that, as well as the Exodus novel, which is kind of like a parallel version of the same thing. And then you have the Transformers Prime cartoon, the Robots in Disguise 2015 cartoon, as well as Rescue Bots and its sequel cartoon, Rescue Bots Academy. Well, it looks like the aligned continuity is coming to a close, and this probably has to do with a lot of different factors as to why this show is ending. But Rescue Bots Academy was a very short version of Rescue Bots with like some new characters. And taking a look at the actual image here, this is what the characters look like. Not a lot of people liked the legacy characters, what they look like, but some people really enjoyed some of the existing characters, like the new ones like Hotshot and Whirl and Swerve. Well, it looks like after 104 episodes, and they're only 10-minute episodes, Rescue Bots Academy is coming to a close after season 2, and this was like the last bastion of the aligned continuity that was still lingering on, and is probably one of the reasons why the show is coming to an end. But I also think that the show is ending because they're rearranging how they're going to be handling different cartoons moving forward. To my understanding, Boulder Media is owned by Hasbro, and so is Entertainment One, and Entertainment One just got purchased last year by Hasbro, and they're the same people who make Paw Patrol, which my kids also love, and I think they're going to be using some of that same animation assets, and they might be using Entertainment One to take over how Transformers in cartoons are going to move forward as far as directed towards kids. We do know that the War for Cybertron cartoon is going to be a little bit more an older demographic as far as like how they're going to be aiming the cartoon, and that's going to be appearing on Netflix at the end of next month, which is July 30th, and that's the actual official date for the War for Cybertron cartoon. But with Rescue Bots Academy coming to a close, as well as Cyberverse, it seems like Hasbro is trying to shuffle everything they have to put everything, maybe under one banner. I don't know what the plan is moving forward, but in one way, it's kind of like finally it's coming to an end. Another way, it's kind of like some people are probably going to be upset that the aligned continuity is ending. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Some people loved Rescue Bots, and some people are like about Rescue Bots. My kids like it, so it's actually a little bit of a bittersweet kind of thing. Now, on Friday, while I was handling a lot of things as far as family is concerned, this live stream by Hasbro was released, and one of the marketing directors posted this video, and it was really, really awesome because we have so much Transformers news coming out of this, to the point that it was an overload. It literally was an overload. In fact, what we ended up finding out is that they are going to be doing a crossover with none other than Back to the Future. It's kind of funny because I just recently rewatched Back to the Future, the entire trilogy, and fell in love with that set of movies all over again, and I look forward to seeing a DeLorean that transforms in an official capacity, because I know a lot of fans have made their own custom versions of the DeLorean, and it looks like they're going to end up having the wheels are going to turn in, and it's going to use the what is it, the garbage to run on fuel in order to get the flux capacitor working. But it's still a kind of neat thing, and I'm wondering if they're going to end up doing a comic book, or if they're going to end up doing maybe like a video short, or if they're just going to end up using, just the Transformer itself. I would like to end up seeing how they would do a crossover that ends up messing with a timeline that actually goes into the different Transformers universes, but that would be my own way of making the whole thing work. Now, I know some of you guys are not a big fan of Action Masters. Action Masters came out at the tail end of G1, and it's pretty much what was the toy line that ended up killing Transformers in a way, because they didn't transform. They lost the ability to transform, to become more powerful, more alive. That was the old commercial. And it looks like they're going to be doing official Action Masters. Are going to be called Robot Enhanced Design, and it's going to not just be Generation 1, but it's going to end up having everything from G1 to Beast Wars to Armada and Animated and Prime. They're probably going to end up doing a lot of different generations of characters of these enhanced action figures that are only going to be about 6 inches tall. They're going to come with a lot of accessories, and it's going to be an official capacity, and they're going to be Walmart exclusives. And this is what Megatron is going to look like. And he looks great if you're really interested in an action figure of Megatron that doesn't transform and is very cartoon accurate. And I like it. It does have the red on the inside of his legs, which more signifies it's a little bit more toy accurate there in that respect, but it's still cool. It's awesome looking. Soundwave here comes with a cassette that actually opens up out of his chest. It doesn't transform, but it is a cassette. And if you're not familiar with cassettes are, because yes, there are people who do ask what cassettes are. They are these little, pieces of plastic with magnetic ribbon on the inside, and that's how we ended up playing music back in the day. And that's what Soundwave transformed into, is he transformed into something that could play them. He was actually considered a micro cassette recorder, and is because they were smaller than your standard cassettes. But they Soundwave in particular here does have an opening chest door, and that I think is really, really cool. And we also have Optimus as well, and Optimus comes with his ion blaster as well as a battle axe and the Matrix as well in his chest, and the chest does open. I believe that the Matrix is removable, but it is very cartoon accurate. So if you want a cartoon accurate G1 Optimus and you don't care if the truck, he transforms into a truck or not, then you can get your hands on this. And these 3 figures in particular, I think they're going to end up costing $19.99, and they're going to be Walmart exclusives. So instead of those real cheap, I guess like $5 plastic things that you can find at Walmart, I think they're going to start selling these. And I'm on the fence about it. Some people are going to be excited about it, and some people are not. And some people are going to be like, I don't want this. And I totally get it. I think some people are going to really jump on this opportunity to be able to have like a cartoon accurate version, of these G1 characters. Not just G1. Like I said, they're going to end up doing more than just the standard Optimus, Megatron, Soundwave, and they're going to end up doing more characters, but we're going to see what they look like. So I'm really curious as to what other characters are going to end up covering. We also ended up finding out that they're also doing 3 Generation Selects toys. They're going to be Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I think they're going to be in-demand toys is going to be in the UK. So if you need to be shipped, worldwide, outside of the US, I think that's where you can, end up picking them up. But they're going to be doing Tiger Track as a recolor of Sideswipe. And I really should do a Sideswipe and Sunstreaker and, possibly cover Tiger Track as far as a Transformers discussion in the near future. But I really dug the toy already for Siege, and I did get the Toy Hacks labels to make my Sideswipe look a lot more like an Earth car, but they're doing the same thing with Tiger Track here. This is obviously a Cybertronian mode, and his car mode just has that clear plastic on the top, but he looks great. If you really want the character of Tiger Track being either a pre-Earth version of that character, or if you want that like the crossover thing where it was red, Sunstreaker was supposed to be red and Sideswipe was supposed to be yellow, and they end up swapping the colors at the end of the day, and what we got was Sideswipe was red and Sunstreaker was yellow. But Tiger Track ended up being released as a Takara exclusive, and now what we have is Tiger Track is now a Generation War for Cybertron, selects toy, and I think it's really good if you're really interested in the character. A lot of European fans are familiar with Rotor Storm because in Europe they really didn't have the break that we did in the US, and they released some exclusives that, to my understanding, was what they released in the US as Machine Wars during the Beast Wars toy line. And Rotor Storm was one of the characters released in Europe. I believe he was a turbocharger. I could be wrong. I have to look that up, of course. But in particular, Rotor Storm is a very, very popular character to fans of the IDW comics, is where he got a lot of show because they didn't have any media for the character in G1 back in the day. But he is a repaint of Spinister, so he's going to be a little bit smaller than the original toy was, but they've done the deco to try and make him look very much like the original G1 toy, where like the cockpit itself was his chest, even though the cockpit is on both legs, which is also a little bit of a faux thing on Spinister himself. And the Spinister toy is already a good toy, so I think it was a good choice to use for this character. So if you're definitely interested, this is definitely a character to get if you want him as part of your collection. Now, the one that I am as excited for the most, believe it or not, is this particular pack right here. This is the Centurion Drone, which is a recolor of Brunt's, which was a weaponizer for during the Siege toy line, and the robot mode was obviously modeled after the Centurion Drone, so it was kind of like a emphasis on making this character as well. But there is a reason why this is a good thing. First of all, for fans of the IDW comics, you're probably going to be all on top of this just for the Centurion Drone, which does look really good in vehicle mode. And I like the purple color scheme personally better, but I will be getting this for one major reason, and that directly is this set right here. Comes with the Centurion Drone, and this is awesome. This is straight up awesome. And the reason why is because it's a weapons pack. A lot of people have been asking for a weapons pack. I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Chris Kent, is one who literally wrote a letter to Hasbro asking, like, hey, can you guys make a weapons pack for some of the War for Cybertron toys, because some of these characters don't come with their standard weapons. I'm surprised that they didn't do Wheeljack's gun, but they did come out with a lot more. And let me actually go over with all of the different, weapons and accessories that are coming in this set and make it work. Like, just this part alone is worth $20 in and of itself, on top of the fact that you're getting it with the Centurion Drone, and I believe it's $29.99 is the price for it. But you got the ball and chain for Megatron. So if you want to reenact the battle on top of Sherman Dam, you can do that with the battle axe. You've got 2 Energon cubes. The fact that you don't get Roller with the Earthrise Optimus with his trailer, you now have a Roller to go along with it. You have Sideswipe's jetpack, Optimus's Ion Blaster. So if you're not satisfied with the Ion Blaster that comes with Optimus, you can get this one to be a little bit more cartoon accurate. This cage in particular, if you want to know why this cage is relevant and important, it's because it is Ravage's cage that in the More Than Meets the Eye pilot, they actually caged Ravage so that you can actually put the Siege Ravage in that cage to reenact that scene in More Than Meets the Eye. It also comes with Megatron in gun mode, and you can attach the silencer here, so it ends up being a full, G1 Megatron gun accessory that could be used on any Transformer. You have Soundwave in cassette mode, so cassette player mode, so you don't have to worry about him transforming and mass shifting. You can pretend that they mass shift and turn into the gun, turn into the tape player, and you also have Reflector as a camera over here, so all 3 of them are included in this set. This radar dish in particular is for Trailbreaker. So when you get the Earthrise Trailbreaker, you can get this radar dish that attaches to him in vehicle mode and can reenact the scene in More Than Meets the Eye when they're listening in to the Decepticons before they attack. I believe it's before they attack Sherman Dam is when this actually took place, and that's why he has the radar dish. And then you have these other blasters, and these blasters are important because the drill itself is for Sideswipe. I believe is his drill that he used in actually I think it was Ironhide's drill that he used to dig his way out. So it's pretty much a weapon I think you can either use for Sideswipe or Ironhide. That's Bumblebee's blaster. You then have Cliff Jumper's, glass gas gun. And this gun right here is actually Shockwave in gun mode as well. The only thing that kind of stinks about this particular set is that Reflector and Shockwave are not really painted, and Soundwave is missing some paint applications, but it's still worth it. It's still worth it just for this set, for the fact that you get all of that included. And it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so all of that is included in here, and it looks amazing and it looks fantastic, and I really want it. Now, the other thing that is also an online exclusive, I believe this is an Amazon exclusive, is a alternate universe Optimus Prime. It's really Optimus Prime on his deathbed, and it's supposed to be like battle damaged face. That's why he's all gray. The Matrix apparently is going to be in regular color, so it's kind of like he's actually is passing the Matrix on to either Ultra Magnus, or whomever, and that is supposed to be a reenactment of the scene in the Transformers movie is when he is dead. And then he does come with the trailer as well, which basically you can lay him on his deathbed, which is his trailer. I didn't think that I really wanted this, but to be quite honest with you, now I kind of do. And I kind of want to, because I want to see it converted into Nemesis Prime. Add a Decepticon symbol to it, maybe add a little bit more black paint apps to it, and you would get a legit Nemesis Prime for Siege, unless they're going to actually release Nemesis Prime later on. But I think that it would be a really neat recolor of this mold as well. But if you really want a dead Optimus, you can get a dead Optimus as a toy. So it's all depends upon if that's something that you really want. Now, I'm also excited because another Walmart exclusive is going to be Blaster. And the reason why this is a good thing is because I'm hoping that they fix the door on his chest. I have my original G1 Blaster. It looks like the plastic is not going to be of the same grade and quality, but the toy itself is going to be the same mold. But I'm hoping that they fix the door, because my original G1 Blaster, the door doesn't work anymore because the spring eventually kind of gives out, and because he's supposed to be able to carry cassettes just like Soundwave is, and he transforms into a full-on boombox, good old ghetto blaster. That's literally where he gets his name from. And I'm actually very, very excited to see this toy get released. I would hope to see both Sound Blaster and Twincast released, in the US as well. But I'm just as excited to see Blaster get reissued as well. And last but not least, Figure King magazine, which is a Japanese exclusive magazine, has some official images of some of the toys getting released in the War for Cybertron. And we finally get some better images of RC. And, of this Earthrise RC, I think the toy actually looks a lot better with the images that they've shown. I'm just disappointed in the paint applications are not as G1 cartoon accurate as I would have liked. And I also don't like the fact that it's missing paint in certain places, and the fact that her feet are pink. But the toy does look a lot better than I originally anticipated, and I am still excited to see this toy get released. And Trailbreaker is definitely on my list, especially after owning Hoist and seeing how good that toy was. Trailbreaker is definitely on my list of toys to get. But I want to know what you guys think about all this Transformers news. Are you guys excited to see the R.E.D. toy line? Or are you guys excited about the reissues or the Generation Selects? And how do you feel about Rescue Bots being the last bit of the Align continuity coming to an end? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have a lot more Transformers content coming down the pipeline. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Be sure to check out my Teespring store, and also be sure to become a patron or a channel member. I can't express to you guys enough and how thankful I am that so many of you responded and are helping me keep the lights on in this place, as well as supporting my family, as well as seeing all the stuff that I'm able to do for you guys as far as Transformers discussion is concerned. So thank you very, very much for that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.